Good morning, everyone. I want to say
Om
thank you.
Shanti.
Om
Om Shanti
Shanti.
Pratibha Ben.
Om Shanti. Good morning. Welcome, everyone.
Good morning, Sister Pratibha.
Morning.
Shanti.
Morning.
Hope you're keeping well.
Oh, keeping very well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Very good. Yeah, good to hear. Om
Good.
Shanti.
So it's thank you, Danielle, for choosing that meditation, a really beautiful one. And I think this morning we continue on that theme of really recognizing our intrinsic self and the value of our intrinsic self. And I think in some ways, what was so beautifully illustrated yesterday is that two things are very key. One is that know yourself, and I think that is an ongoing journey. It's really about taking time to reflect and see what really is moving me and to know myself and to value myself. And the second aspect that came through very powerfully was also surround yourself with people who know your value. And in a way, the world has so many energies that we have to face. And sometimes we can get very influenced and affected by the energies of the world around us and how people behave in ways because of what's happening inside of them. And sometimes we can get very influenced by that. But it's always so important to recognize that each one's playing out their story as they think best, and I need to keep focused on what I feel is of essence for myself. And when I keep that as my internal very solid foundation, then I can look at the world, and I can also see the world with a different pair of eyes and can see beauty in and amongst everything else as well. So today's video is a little lesson on that, and let's just see it, and then we can actually explore some of the ideas that are being shared.
Tired of cold calling?
Sorry. I found that piece of video extremely powerful because there were no words in a sense of voice, but the message was so powerful. And I think in some ways what it really highlights in a sense is that beauty is created because of diversity. And the more we can learn to really develop that sense of self-worth and self-respect for ourselves, one of the things that it does when I have that as a strong foundation is that it enables me to be embracing of others and seeing the beauty in others and what others can offer. You know, our fear for difference is because of our own insecurity. But when we can really feel clear and stable and at ease with who and what we are. You know, someone said it very nicely once, being comfortable in my skin. When I reach that stage in a way, then it's like the heart expands and there's this capacity to embrace and appreciate and recognize the uniqueness around me. I think also it brings a new lens for the self, that when I can really see that looking at things with this eye of being internally secure in who I am, my connection with the divine, then I can also see things around me and be able to draw out the goodness that is around me. Because yes, one does face, moments in life where you do see ugly things or hear of ugly things in a way. But in a way also it's like keeping the right mindset so that I'm able to draw out what can serve me and what can serve the other, what can contribute for greater good. And so I think this is something we always have to do, because it's not always going to be perfect around us, but we need to seek out the perfection. And that is an art. That is an art, to seek out the perfection in what is around us. And another aspect that I really liked is also, sometimes we can be so busy in our own little worlds that we don't hear and see what is happening really around us, often to the people that we really care about as well. I sometimes find that we get so busy in our task, we live past each other. And the beauty of this little clip was really this ability to be present for another, to actually hear what the need is for another, so that I can really reach out. And so it requires a kind of a quietness in me, because only if there's a quietness in me, then I am able to actually hear what the other around me, the needs are, and can be able to respond in the most appropriate way. So this kind of internal centeredness, internal quietness, also enables me to be more available in a meaningful way, to be more present for another as well. So those were some of my thoughts that got triggered when I saw this clip, and just really seeing the value of silence in a different way as well. So I'm going to invite you, if any of you have a thought or comment to make that you would like to share on seeing this clip. What are your thoughts that got triggered?
Om Shanti Pratibha Ben.
Hello, Sherry.
For me, it reminded me, I think it's Zach Yakub. He's a blind attorney. When he came in to speak to us in school many decades ago, he made a statement. I cried because I had no shoes until I saw a man without feet. I think in essence, that statement is about being grateful for who you are and what you are. I think that for me triggered that, because we often look at our problems and we forget to highlight all the goodness in our lives, like living in gratitude. That for me brought out that. Thanks.
Yeah, that is an important lesson. Sometimes our focus tends to go on the lack, or what is wrong, and it is really about turning within and really seeing, like, count your blessings, be appreciative of what you do have. And I do find that the more we begin to cultivate that as a practice of recognizing and appreciating what I do have around me, what is good around me, it has a very powerful effect, that it takes my mindset away from being of a critical nature to actually being more accepting, and also more grateful, but also it helps in a way to also be more solution driven rather than just being critical. It's almost like people are too critical, don't have the answers. They only see what the problems are. But when I practice gratitude in a way, very consciously, it begins to cultivate in me a mindset that's more solution driven. So thank you for that. Yeah, Lakshmi is sharing, everyone is unique in their own way. All are God's children, accept people for who or what they are. Be grateful for all of your blessings. Yes, it's really beginning to see the beauty that is around us, and appreciating that uniqueness. Yeah. Anyone else would like to share? One other element that I think is also important to just bear in mind is that often what happens when we going through a difficult patch or facing a challenge or whatever, we tend to feel very alone. It's almost like we we shut the world around us, and we sit with the issue within ourselves. And I think one of the lessons to learn as well is also that we're never alone. There is someone or some way that we can reach out. And I think that's so key, because at times we feel we have to solve it ourselves. Ultimately, we do have to take the steps that we need to resolve whatever is we're facing. But there is ways and means that we can reach out, and sometimes it's something small that someone can offer, that can just be that little thing that I needed to help me just shift my own energy, my own thinking, my own attitude in this moment, so that I can see another opportunity or another way out. So I think that's another important lesson as well, that we're never alone, and I think we should never think that there's no one around us, but to reach out, and in some way or another there can be an assistance that can be offered. Sometimes it's just someone who's there willing to listen. Sometimes it could be just someone who has perhaps had a similar experience and can share how they work through. Sometimes it's just to know that there is someone there that can help you. So I think it's very important not to withdraw into oneself completely, but to just look out and reach out in a way. So two things. One is for me to look out and reach out, but another aspect as well is, am I present enough so that if someone is needing something, I can sense it and I can reach out to them as well. So both ways, in terms of our relationships, it's so important. And I think just knowing that there is always something. We've often had that experience, but in hindsight, we can always see that whatever experience we've had has been a catalyst for deep growth. And so I think always to remind the self in that way, that whatever the challenge right now is, but to know that it's a springboard for something good to emerge more powerfully. And so when I keep that awareness that it is a springboard for something better to emerge, then it also helps me to hold a perspective that's healthy, hold a perspective that's balanced, to hold a perspective that is also able to draw out goodness around me. Okay, so I'm going to lead it into a meditation, and if anyone does have anything further to share, please do so in the chat. Thanks. Okay. So I invite you to breathe in deeply, to center yourself in your own uniqueness. Take a moment and recognize who you really are. What makes me unique? what enables me to give my own expression to the quality of love, quality of joy, my creativity. Just hold the sacred awareness. I am divinely created. I am unique. And I am special. Holding this awareness of the self with this vision of abundance and wellness expands my heart. I become still inside, and through my stillness, I become present for those around me. I become present to sense the need around me. And it is in these subtle connections between us that we feel the flow of love, the receiving and the giving of pure love. And it is this exchange and flow of love that returns us to our truth, that emerges in us an abundance of joy, and that enables us to see the perfection in every moment. So just holding the sacred awareness within, of the true nature of the self, and allowing this awareness to gently guide me in my day, moment to moment, and enjoy moment to moment the perfection that I'm able to see. Thank you. Om Shanti, everyone.
Thank you,
So,
Sister Pratibha, for your
thank
blissful
you.
meditation.
Good. Anyway, have a lovely
Look forward to
day,
seeing you
everyone.
tomorrow.
Sure.
Thank you. Om
Tomorrow's
Shanti.
weekend, so we'll see you all on Monday.